I think, you know, it's it's really something that was forced. And if you understand the history and everything else, I think Russia's doing the right thing. That's the bottom line. It's a situation that's been ongoing for 8 years. And it's funny to me that Russia gets, I'm not really at a loss of words. The Russia gets slammed for something for waiting for 8 years, and here is Serbia that did something for maybe a month, and it gets attacked immediately by NATO and bigger countries and all the above. So, no, I think the operation needed to happen and to end this once and for all. It's a civil war that's been going, and ultimately we're on the right side. The truth is on our side, and when the truth is on your side, victory is inevitable. For 8 years, there was no mention of Eastern Ukrainians that were being shelled and hit. It's really something I had to go out of my way to explain to people what is happening since 2014. They didn't understand Crimea. They don't understand the 1,000-year history, the bloodline that's been going on for 1,000 years between Russia. Russia and Ukraine are the same people. You know, it's indistinguishable. It's Slavs. And it's a sad situation where you have a family sibling that tore itself away and then decides to attack its own sibling in the East. And Americans, unfortunately, at least when I was there for 24 years, had no clue. They really don't even know where Ukraine is located on a map. First, they had no idea. They were just like everybody. They just saw a Russian invasion. That's all they knew because that's all they saw. And once I explained to them a little bit more, they started to see the other side. They don't like the war. Nobody likes war. Everybody wants peace, and it has to stop. But sometimes you just have to resort to things that you normally wouldn't to end it quickly. It's an ongoing situation for 8 years. So in the beginning, they were very anti-Russian. They thought Russia was the aggressor and all this. But when they found out what has been happening in the last 8 years, once I showed them certain things, they started to slowly open up. And I think a lot of Americans are. They're realizing that a lot of the videos they're getting or a lot of the information from Ukraine is fake. It's from Syrian conflict. They're using posted things from 2014 and making things up like the Ghost of Kiev, the fighter pilot that flew around and knocked out 35 Russian planes, I think is the last count. They're slowly starting to turn around. And honestly, I think they're more worried about themselves and their own borders and about America. They really don't want to get involved. And I speak for most Americans. They don't want to get involved in a situation that's happening in Ukraine. It's more to do, I think, with certain people and places that are pushing. And as a result, my family in America, my friends in America, they're paying higher gases. They're having to pay more for food. They're having to do a lot of things. They have to sacrifice the things. So I'm going to tell you right now, European Union has maxed out its sanctions. And by chopping off a limb that they're sitting on, they're about to drop on their own. It's very unfortunate they decided to get rid of Russian oil, because now they're going to have to go to Venezuela, which a country is going to say, okay, we'll sell you the oil, but you're going to pay 10 times the amount. They've reached out to Saudi Arabia and Emirates and basically were refused. So unless Biden wants to go ahead and open up his reserves that he claimed he wasn't going to do, which will absolutely, he's going for this re-election campaign, and so he's not going to want to open up his oil. As a result, Americans are going to be paying higher gas. They're going to have to go through other countries. But for losing two, which is Europe and America, we've gained four, well, I hope, which will be China, India, Africa, and South America. So we just gained 4 more customers by doing so. Hopefully, in the long run, things will settle up and things will open up. But it's unfortunate. I don't really have a bad or good feeling. I just think that it's bad for everybody because we're having to go on ahead and find somebody else to sell, and they're going to have to pay a lot more. So nobody wins in this one. And that's the reality of the situation. I posted one little thing that said I'm moving to Russia, and I was immediately a Putin bot, an apologist, a propagandist. It was nuts. Had nothing to do. There was a link that was sent to me, and it was about the little documentary, and I clicked on it, and today it shut off. You know, can't be shown in your country. It's these little things. It's almost like 2-year-old temper tantrums on the other side. It's really what it is we have the truth, and this is Instagram wars. That's their battlefield. It's a joke. It really is. But it's unfortunate because by blocking and stopping all these things, especially on their side and this war of information on the Western side, they're really doing themselves a disservice. They're not learning the truth. They're taking a side clearly that's in the wrong if you actually knew the facts. And it's unfortunate. That's just the low point in Western society. I don't know if it's a cancer that just kind of got spread in this Russophobia and all that, but Russians are amazing people. I've been here for 5 months. I've had nothing but respect. And, you know, even from American perspective, it's disgusting what to see. And it was nice to see. I did hear one particular case where this one particular restaurant, not the owner, but she was a lady, and exactly as you said, where she did, said, you're Russian, we're not going to service you, but somebody else stepped up and said, we don't act like this. So I think that there's really two sides to it. Yes, there are going to be people that are going to act like that, but there are others that also see that as a disgusting act and actually will step up to the plate and basically say, hey, stop attacking Russians. They are not in charge of the special operations. It's a matter between military and the government, but ultimately everybody wants peace, and that's what this operation is. It's to make it stop as quickly as possible. Something that's been happening in 8 years isn't going to just be worked out in 2 weeks. It's going to take time, and that's what people need to understand. Some people that I talk to, the ones that don't have a clue, they're really emotional, and when you see something or you think a building was bombed and you're told that some people were killed, it's that instant anger. And so I do come across a little bit where I'll say something in passing and then they'll immediately, oh, you're for Russia, you must be one of them, and blah, 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 and they go into that little tantrum. But for the most part, I usually try to kind of have a civil dialogue, and as a result, I actually end up changing a lot of the mind. So the key to all of this is being cool, calm, and collected and not try to get too emotional. Unfortunately, you're going to always come across people who are, and that's just the side of it. Stay civil. The best way you can beat people is with love and show respect, and I think ultimately that's what's going to win. So it's easy to attack back, and I just encourage people to stay calm. You're going to have to, sometimes people just act crazy, but if you can avoid this situation or go away from places that are dangerous, that would be the best thing. Overall, just know that, you're doing the right thing by being who you are. So be good, be a good person, be a good people, and that's it. That's the future of Russia.